We're having an interview with Brandon's parents. This is my son, Anthony Thibodaux Sr., and my daughter-in-law, LaShon Thibodaux, Anjanette LaShon Thibodaux. What we're going to talk about, we already know that Brandon was severely autistic and was nonverbal up until age 6, and he really couldn't do much. But what I want them to talk about is what they do from morning when he wakes up until he goes to bed, and during the night, how Brandon is. So tell me your routine that you'll have with Brandon. Okay, Tony, which one of y'all get up with Brandon, and what time he gets up?
Well, Brandon actually gets up on his own at about 6:30 every morning.
Okay.
No matter if it's the weekday or the weekend, but during the week, he is on a routine of 6:30 or actually 6 o'clock in the morning because his bus is here for 6:45.
So he goes to school,
so
correct, right.
Brandon goes to school, but his morning routine consists of getting up, he goes to the restroom, assisted. As you know, Brandon is 9 years old now, so therefore controlling things in the morning can be a little taxing, so that's why he is given a little
he came to kiss mommy,
in the morning for the bathroom. After that, he washes his face.
Right. Assistance means you're making sure that everything's going in the toilet because he's sleepy. Won't mess,
Because we do not want to have to clean.
Right. Right.
You wake him up.
So, yes, I'll wake him up at about 6
okay.
for him to take him to the bathroom.
Okay.
After that, his mother then takes over, make sure he washes his face, which he knows how to do, assisting in brushing his teeth. After that, Brandon then puts on his clothes to go to school. He's then given his juice along with his supplements in the morning to go to school with, because he actually eats breakfast at school with his class.
And does he eat breakfast at the school, or he has his own? Y'all prepare?
We prepare his breakfast. He's given serving two bananas. We pack two 20-ounce bottles of his juice. An empty cup, because he actually pours his juice himself when he gets to school, and also his pizza is also in his lunchbox, which he eats for breakfast and also for lunch.
Okay. And Sean, tell me what happens when he gets home from school. What time you get him off the bus?
His bus normally arrives around 2:30, and then he immediately comes home and he opens up his book bag to show me how his day was. So, for instance, he'll open up a folder and he'll read to me his report for that day, such as if he had a great day, excellent day, not so good day, talkative day. Then once that happens, I prepare his lunch, basically, or his afternoon after-school snack, which consists of his pizza, his banana, his cookies, and smoothie. And then once he has that, then we do his homework.
Okay.
And that consists of, his teacher actually put together a folder that has all his sheets, like math sheets, reading sheets, and we go over that every day. He'll read, he'll do his math, or I just pick a subject. Normally I do reading, he'll do his writing, and once he's through with his homework, then he has his free time. And normally that's allowing him to play with his computer.
Okay.
And he'll play with his computer until it's time to get ready for bed for the next day.
So what time he takes a bath, and what's the procedure? What do you use in the bathtub?
Basically, I give him a bath right around 4:30, 4:45.
Okay.
And warm water with Epsom salt. And I use Ivory for his soap to wash him up with.
Okay.
And he plays in the water, loves the water. And once he gets out, he dries himself. You tell him to dry himself. But of course, everything is assisted. He's not able to do all of it on his own just yet. But we are working towards that.
Okay.
For him to be independent, and that way we don't have to assist him.
Okay. Does he dress himself? Can he dress himself?
Yes, Brandon can dress himself, but you just have to
be
there because
y'all supervising, in other words.
Because otherwise, shorts may be up to the chest.
Right.
Backwards.
backwards.
Right.
Shirt may be on backwards.
Right.
So the assistant is really supervising.
Yeah.
I got you, but he does
Supervising,
everything.
but he
Okay.
can't dress himself.
All right. Now tell me about the teamwork that y'all do with Brandon as far as the food is concerned. Like who does his juicing and who does his pizza? Let's talk about the juicing.
Well, the juicing, I'll do the juicing. Usually the juicing and the smoothies. Juicing consists of usually 1 beet or a half a beet, depending on size. 4 lemons and 6 limes cut up. What we do is we put those in a food processor. Those are all juiced. Once everything comes out in kind of a concentrate form, I then add ice and water and honey to sweeten. And you usually taste just about after every batch to make sure the sweetness is okay and it's not too bitter.
Okay, and what about the smoothies? Tell me how you make the smoothies.
Those are any type of frozen fruits, frozen berries. What we do with them is just put them in the blender with the ice. Usually we'll use a little grapefruit juice, or sometimes we'll use the concentrate from the actual juice with the beetroot and lemon and lime, and put that in there as well.
Okay, and also crack a egg to make sure he gets a raw egg.
Crack an egg for the protein.
Okay, Sean, tell me about the cookies and the pizza, and how often you have to bake your cookies and your pizza for him.
I normally bake the cookies. Cookies I have to bake at least once or twice a week.
Okay.
The pizza at least once a week.
Okay.
Just depends on. Right now he's eating a lot. So
Okay.
It's once a week.
How many bananas a week he eats?
Let's see here. I'm stopping every other day. So you might have 8 in a bunch. So if I'm stopping every other day, Brand might do 24 bananas a week.
Okay. All right. And tell me what's in the cookies, Sean.
The cookies?
Yeah.
It's ground almonds. Basically, you ground the almonds. It's almonds, butter, and water, honey, and just a little sea salt.
Okay. And he loves those cookies. And tell me what's in the pizza.
Egg, I'm sorry.
And eggs, yeah.
What's in the pizza is, again, almonds. You ground the almonds. You make homemade sauce, which is the tomatoes, bell peppers, onions, carrots, zucchini, squash, any vegetable that you can find that you think your child may like, or you think that it will taste good. That's what you would put in the sauce. And then once you I ground up the almonds, and then after that, I puree the tomatoes. I saute the bell peppers, the onions, like again the vegetables that you're going to use. You saute that up with butter, and then once you ground the almonds, you put that in the oven and allow that to bake, and that's the crust for the pizza. Then you put the sauce on top of the crust, and then you layer the pizza with spinach or spring mix, and then after that I use organic pepperoni, also chicken. You can use beef, sausage, whatever meat you can find, because that is okay on the GAPS diet. And then you bake it. There is unprocessed cheese. You put that on top, put it in the oven for about 350 degrees for maybe 30 minutes, and voila, there's his pizza.
Lots of Brandon has been on this diet for 3.5 years. And his mainstay, that's all he eats, we know, is the smoothies, the cookies, the bananas, the pizza, and the beetroot lemonade. What do y'all think about that as far as his progress is concerned? Just give me a brief overview as to where Brandon was before we started all of this, the GAPS protocol, and where he is now. Just a brief overview. What do you think about what's going on with Brandon that you can give parents, Sean?
What I know is, before we moved, we were living in Louisiana, and before we moved to Atlanta, and before Brandon started the GAPS diet and visiting Dr. Chris, Brandon did not say, he said mommy only one time. He only mentioned my name once, called me mommy. He didn't speak, he wasn't talking, he was only eating finger foods, such as all the wrong foods, as Cheetos and oatmeal cream pies. And as soon as we made the change to the GAPS diet, my son started speaking. Not in sentences, but saying mommy, cup, juice, one word.
It's one word sentences, basically.
Yeah, one word answers, basically.
And what do you think about his progress?
Right now, my son tells me, what did he say today? Today he said, I'm sorry, mommy, I didn't mean to do that. Or he will say, mommy, I want my banana, I want my cookies, pizza, juice,
all at the same
time. I have a conversation with my son.
Back and forth.
And that is just wonderful.
That is wonderful.
I wish that for everyone.
And then not only that, he's interacting, he's affectionate, he's just doing...
interacting, social.
Yes, he does wear his heart on his sleeve.
Yes, he does.
Very emotional.
So what do you think about it, Dad, as far as...
I love it as far as because it's really given me my two boys that I've always wanted. I never thought that, I would have what they call handicap, but because of his disability, because of his autism, he wasn't able to interact with his brother. He wasn't able to interact with me or with the other members of the family. And now it's like he has done a whole 180, or I would say actually maybe a 160, because them other 20 degrees he shall be getting to as far as when he continues with the diet and with everything. But it's just basically he's more interactive now than ever before. And we do credit that to the GAPS diet and also just the interactions as far as kind of being on him to do the right things as far as with his diet, with his schooling, with everything. You just
as well as support, support system.
Right.
If we didn't have,
and as you can see, here
our
he
family,
is right here.
If we didn't have our grandparents,
a flash light twirling up in the sky.
A flash of twirling up in the sky. Oh,
and if we did not have our grandparents, just the support system.
Right. Dr. Chris, everything.
Everybody working together, this wouldn't be possible.
Well, thank you. And what do you
Lonely God.
Right. And how do you feel that this can help other parents? Is this taxing on y'all to do all of these things on the side for Brandon, like making food, preparing it from scratch and things like that?
No. Once you, if you think about it, you go to the store and you prepare a meal for your children or for your family, and you still have to take just about the same amount of time as preparing that food that we have to do with Brandon's food. And it's actually much, when you look at it, it's much healthier, even though it may be a little more time consuming, but still you would have to do it anyway, even if you were preparing a regular meal.
Exactly.
So
the support system helps.
Right.
If I had to do it all, yes, it would be taxing.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Right, because you do the juices, you do the pizza, things like that, right?
Together, he does juices and I do the pizza. It's not bad.
Right, you have to be a team.
If you're one, you can, not to say it can't be done.
Right.
Because it can, but it would be taxing.
Right.
If you had to do it all on your own.
Well, thank you, Thibodaux family. Thank you for that.